All right, I think it's working. How are you guys? Um, we're going live today. We're going to do a little painting. We're going to do a little chatting. Temperatures may not be necessarily fall temperatures here in North Florida. Actually, in the morning and in the after, nighttime, it does drop down to 70s. So that's been pleasant, but it's still 90s during the day. But it is fall, so we're going to paint a little. We're going to chat a little today. If you could just go ahead and say hello. I have my laptop here so I can see we can see your comments. That's the words. You have to forgive me. I haven't fully drunk. Yeah. Words. There we go. I haven't fully drank all of my tea yet. So we're going to do some fall pumpkins, these little Dollar Tree stacks right here. And they're going to be in all non-traditional colors. And I'll explain why in a little bit. I also have a very special announcement that I'm really excited about, as well as we're going to chat a little. I have a couple things that have been kind of just, I don't know what to think about them just yet. And I want your opinion on them. So it's all home decor related. So grab a cup of coffee or tea or water or whatever, or grab your paint supplies, and let's just have some fun today. So like I said, if you pop on, go ahead and let me know you're here. Say hello and let me know where you're watching from. And before, in case you're watching this in the replay and you get distracted or you walk away for a little bit, I'm going to give you part of the announcement and then explain the entire announcement later. But my friend Linda from Life on Summer Hill, which she should be popping on here soon, is she's releasing a book, y'all. She wrote a book all about vintage treasures and what type of treasures to find, how to style them, what to use with them. And the link is actually in the description. And when she pops on, she'll leave a link to that book as well. It'll be pre-ordered on, I think it comes out the 24th. Well, different versions come out at different times, if that makes any sense. It'll tell you on Amazon when you get there. So I just wanted to, like I said, get that out in the open in case you get distracted later on when I go a little bit deeper into what the book is about and how excited I am for her. So let me talk to you about what we're doing. I don't see anybody. Oh, I see someone watching. Yay. If you are there, if you could leave a comment and let me know that where you're watching from. I love to know. It's just interesting to see where everyone pops in from. For years, I had a store, and so I would do lives on Facebook, and the majority of my people were either my family. I found out later. They're like, yeah, we watched your live all the time. And so I grew up in upstate New York, and so that would be their way of connecting with me, as well as just local people. So when someone tells me they're watching from Texas or California or wherever, it's just really cool. Or France or Australia or wherever. It's just so neat, this platform provides. So let me know where you're watching from and we'll get started. So I'll kind of explain what's going on. So this is what these look like before. They're cute. These are from Dollar Tree. Yes, there's a price increase. I'll just get that elephant out of the room right away. I actually had cash on me, and I only wanted to use the few dollars that I had in cash. And so I get up to the register, and I thought I had way more than enough, and didn't realize everything's $1.50 now. So I had to put some stuff back. I'm like, what? I'm at Dollar Tree. This is bizarre. But anyhow, So yes, there's a price increase, but these I feel are still worth it. Um, and I'll talk to you about what happened in a little bit. So we have three different styles. So one of these is for one daughter-in-law. This is my second daughter-in-law, and this one is for me. This one that I'm working on right now is a Harry Potter theme. I'm trying. Probably gonna have to advise with her because I'm not really versed on Harry Potter other than, I know a few things. My grandkids were dressed as Harry Potter characters last year. So I know a little bit, but not like I'm trying to get a pattern. So the bottom is going to be the stripe like would be on his scarf. There we go. Let me show you. I do have it. Here we go. So I'm going to do a stripe on the bottom in the maroon and the gold. She's also an FSU graduate, so that's their colors. So that'll work. The center, I have absolutely no idea. There's a few ideas kind of mulling through my brain, and I love your feedback on that. One was I thought I would get out my silhouette and cut out something of the, is it like an M or an H and P or something like that, or maybe the crest or something. But it's just a little too straightforward, Harry Potter. And then I thought about maybe decoupaging book pages on here. Not really sure. And the top will be an argyle at the top in a navy and cream. So that's that one. The other one is for my daughter-in-law who now lives along the western coast of Florida. So her color scheme inside her house is a pink and a blue. She's very young and loves that bright, young, youthful colors that really everything was gray in her house. So we're slowly trying to lighten and brighten things up in there as well as she's on the coast. So we're going to do a teal at the bottom. Let me just show you because my marker colors weren't quite. So we'll do, this is the Golf from Dixie Belle Paint. Ooh, I'm getting stuff on there. And then the middle will be kind of a corally color. I may do this or may do flamingo, not really sure. And then the top will be a pink, and I'm actually going to need to kind of custom mix this to darken it a little bit. So we'll do a stripe at the top. She's also very into like the Mackenzie Childs look. So we'll do a check pattern at the bottom. We'll do kind of a leafy pattern here in the coral, and then a pink stripe at the top. Maybe add in some leaves here or there, kind of connect everything together. And then there's me, who's bright, bold, and obnoxious in the Talavera style, like the pots that I painted a while back. We'll do kind of a sunflower at the top, some swirly, paisley, swishy things stuck in the middle. And I've actually had to kind of change this up because once I got the actual pumpkins out here, let's see if I can show you. Once I got this out, I was going to do this swirly thing at the bottom, but then I could only fit one sunflower at the top. So it looked too same. So I'm going to do the same lattice pattern. We're going to do the background in the hot pink, do the lattice pattern, and then do the flowers that will be coming up and around there. So just a little switch up. That's why the bottom is just plain white, because we need to paint that in the hot pink. So, and they are actually kind of cute on their own. We're not going to hang them. They're going to be put on stakes. I saw a video recently, and the woman has a home decor store, and y'all, hers were beautiful, but good golly, they weren't much different than, they were more, let's see, I think they're like teals and greens, but they're like $160 for one steak. And it's no bigger than this. So I was like, oh, we know we can DIY that for sure. So think $1.50 compared to $168. I think we're saving a few pennies there, even with the price increase. So that's what we're doing. Like I said, it's kind of cute the way it is. If you do orange and black for your colors, that's fabulous. But hello, Linda, you are on. If you could, I mentioned your book a few minutes ago. So if you could go ahead and put the link to that video. Like I said, I have it in the description, but if you want to put it in the comments so people can get to it really easy, that'd be awesome. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. And as you could see, they're all in very non-traditional colors because of a few good reasons. One is I think that personally, this is just my opinion, your fall decor, it needs to blend well with the decor that's already there. So that's one reason. The other reason is partially my, I guess you could say, laziness, that Christmas is really the only holiday that I go fully all out on. I take the entire month of December, and I'm actually probably going to start in November this year, and I decorate for almost the entire month, and then I leave it up the entire month of January so I can enjoy it. So with fall, I don't, like I mentioned earlier, the temperatures here are still quite warm, so it doesn't feel like fall necessarily, as well as it's just kind of a yucky time of year for me. Had a few different life events that have happened in the fall, and I don't know. I have learned that as I've gotten older, that how do I want to put this? As I've gotten older, I've realized to give myself more grace during those times of the year when those there were like they were several years apart, but all during between August to September, several women in my life passed away. So the fall just kind of reminds me of that. And so I've learned to give myself more grace during this time of year and to take things a little slower, hence the reason why there's not a video out this week. Kind of take things slower. I go to the beach a little more. The weather is much nicer. It's not in the, veering the hundreds, and the humidity has dropped just a tip. So it makes beautiful beach weather. I take more walks, and in doing so, I don't have the energy to put out all the fall decor. And definitely not Halloween, because that's a blip of an eye. For me, I don't go fully into Halloween, which, y'all, Hobby Lobby is about the only place that I have found a decent amount of fall decor. Everywhere is just all Halloween. Like, we went into Home Goods and we were looking for things for my daughter-in-law when I was down visiting her, and everything was Halloween. There was hardly any fall decor. Their regular home decor section was minimalized a lot because fall or Halloween had just taken over. And then I even noticed in Target and Walmart, all of them, I can't grasp my brain around that concept, from the point of the fall season is a much longer season. I mean, if you decorate for fall in traditional fall colors, it is, you'll start probably in September and they'll stay up through Thanksgiving. So why so much emphasis on Halloween, which is usually, most people don't decorate for Halloween till like October, and even towards the middle of October. So I don't know. I don't get it. If y'all get it, if y'all go into Halloween, explain it to me a little more. me not decorating for Halloween mainly has to do with, like I said, that laziness. We live out far in the country. We don't get any trick-or-treaters. So, my grandkids will stop by now that they're older. And then when my kids were littler, we would go to my in-laws that were in town. So there was really no reason to decorate for Halloween, especially outside, because no one would see it. And so, yeah, it's just, a combination of things that I'm a spring, summer season person. That's just the bottom line. So I veered towards the more non-traditional colors, like my pumpkins are going to be in cobalt blue and hot pink and a yellow. So they're in a pumpkin shape, and that's the only thing that's really showing that they are fall. But what was my words? Told y'all the words weren't coming today. But yeah, so I don't know. Do you decorate to match your home decor, or do you just decorate? Or is your home decor mainly just all neutral? Do you take out any sort of color and just add in the fall colors? Because that's a possibility too. Or does the colors that you choose, do you make them to blend with your color palette? So, if you have, say, that modern organic kind of look, it's a lot of just neutral. So do you go with, say, more muted fall tones? The green is everywhere right now. It's hard for me to get on the green trend. One, I don't necessarily lean into trends all that much. But two, when we first got married, this house was all that colonial blue color. So I went through it and we did all the sage green. So for me to do that again, I just can't get there. Plus, I've just found I've got to a season in my life that trends don't matter that much to me. That I find what I like and I just go from there. And I think, and that's going to lead me to something else that I've been kind of mulling over lately. And I saw a video about it. They were talking about how influenced we are by like the Instagram aesthetic, and how it's actually become a problem where people, aren't socializing or inviting people over because their homes aren't perfect like those photos you see on Instagram or Pinterest, and that they're waiting for everything to be perfect, which I am guilty of, especially since what I'm doing right now. My house is a constant project, so to have someone over just is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that, and oh yeah, this is my idea about that, and oh yeah, I'm midway through that. So it's like, to me, it's like that would just give me too much anxiety to have someone over in the middle of all of that, and that's something I just need to let go. I need to let go. I don't feel like it's necessarily causing problems with connections I'm having, but it could be. So I just something to think about. Are you waiting for your house to be perfect? Or are you okay with the fact that it's just lived in? You live there and it's okay. I know growing up, I grew up in a very small town, very, very small town. Like, I think there's maybe 3,200 people in the town that I grew up in now, and that's grown considerably. And people just live their lives in whatever however they decorated their home. It stayed that way, like for a lifetime sometimes. And so the fact that that's the other thing with the Instagram aesthetic. Um, it's grabbing, the algorithm is grabbing onto these trends and pushing these trends, and then manufacturers grab onto the fact that those are a high trend, and then they're everywhere. So when you go into the store, it feels like everything is the same. Like there's no individuality. There's no, even from the standpoint of, I've seen things in I don't have a Pottery Barn near me, but on their website, like seen things in Pottery Barn that have the same look as what you find at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Amazon. And it's like, granted, the quality is probably not the same. Like I said, I only see it online, but it's just this idea of like all this sameness that it's just, but that's the thing. I just don't know what to think about that. Not that I necessarily want to always go against the grain per se. I am trying to achieve a put together home, something that feels comfortable and lived in. But at the same time, is pretty and excites me. So, and the ones that live with me. So, yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think? But I still, I don't know where do you, it also produces a lot of wastefulness and disposableness. It wasn't that long ago that everyone was putting in this brownish granite, and then it went out so quickly, and then now it's kind of coming back in again. Well, y'all, granite is expensive, and if you put that in your home and then all of a sudden the trend changes that quickly, with it being, everything being online now and changing like that, like the algorithm is kind of forcing those trends, it makes things go much faster. Fashion trends obviously, change each individual season, but interiors wouldn't take many years to change. And now those years have just sped up so much that I don't know how practical a lot of things are. And it's like, I really am a true believer that you should put in your home things that you enjoy, things that really light you up and excite you. Whatever color combinations excite you or give you a sense of peace or a sense of calm or a sense of coziness, all for it, right? And even room by room, like I like a more bolder color palette in this part of my house, definitely leaning more towards pinks and whatnot in my office space. But my bedroom, I want to be a more serene color palette because I like it to be calmer. So, like I said, do what lights you up and excites you. But I think we need to be careful that we aren't grabbing on to something that's super trendy, because that trend is going to change so fast and make your home look dated very quickly. And I don't think I am all for vintage. Like, I think you all, if you've been here for any sort of minute, vintage is where it's at, and where it really, you can really bring in some character and some, whatnot. But there's a difference between really awesome, timeless vintage styles and pieces versus things that are dated. So that's where these trends that are happening so quickly in our households, I think we need to kind of weigh those things out. So be aware of the trends, but I don't think we need to necessarily hop on every single one of them. The trends are that it's going to a much warmer color palette. We did the grays in the early 2010s or whatever, and then we veered towards the black and whites during the 2020s, and now we're veering into a much warmer color palette, which is whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you enjoy a warmer color palette, so be it. But just try to keep things as timeless as possible. in my opinion. The other thing that I think we're kind of losing, like I said, the vintage pieces just bring that character. I feel like we're losing character with all of the sameness, but we're also losing some of that family uh, what's the word, family focus aspects. um, Long gone are, all these Instagram and Pinterest photos that I see of rooms. There's no pictures in them of family, and it's baffling to me. Where we were doing the gallery walls for a while there, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's taboo now. And it's like, but we still have families, and I know I have many pictures in our family room that I love to look at all the time. Like, I don't want to just open a book. I don't want to get on my phone and look at photos. Like, I want to see them all the time. I mean, I have some of my children's preschool pictures because they were professionally done and they were so cute. And so, yes, they're all adults now, but I just, I love looking at them. So we put them up, and I just don't understand. Like, I do see some homes, like I watch a lot of home tours and things on YouTube to get ideas, and because sometimes for me, I have to see it. I have to um, to see how the moldings are put together. I have to see how those color combos are going together. I have to I'm very tactile, and I'm visual, so I have to see them before I go, oh, I'd like to do that. Um, so I watch a lot of home tours, and in the home tours, I'll see them put like a gallery wall or something, but it'll be in a back hallway somewhere hidden away, and I'm like, I don't know. I just I'm not saying we got to plaster our walls with all of our family photos, but I don't think a home should be void of it either. So that's just my opinion, and just kind of some things that I'm seeing that kind of make me question. Do you see that too? Do you I don't know. Do you I just don't know. So we have a few people watching, and a few likes, and I appreciate that. Um so that leads me to Linda's book. if if you've gone over to Life on Summer Hill, Linda has a beautiful, just serene, amazing, put together home filled with character, filled with you could see the love in the character and the personalization in her home. And she has written a book. She is an interior designer that now is on YouTube and is a blogger. And she's written a book talking all about the different, it's kind of a guidebook, really. And so it really talks about different things to look for in thrift stores, how you can style those things. I have been thrifting for as long as I possibly can remember. And I got a little preview of the book, and I have to say, there's many of things I never even thought of. And it's just really cool. You're going in thrift stores, going in vintage stores, going in antique stores, and you see these things, that remind you of your childhood, or that will be something special and unique and personalized to you. And I think that's what is so awesome about it, and the life that thing has lived before. It's always neat to hear the story of where it came from, why it was used, why it was popular during that time period. All those types of things I think are really neat. And that's all in her beautiful book, as well as it's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And it would be a phenomenal coffee table book. There's the words. So I would really, really encourage you to check that out. Like I said, the link is in the description, and it will be released the 24th. I believe that's Wednesday. So of next week. So I really, really encourage you to go check that out, pre-order it so that you can get it as soon as it is released. Because it, like I said, it really is an awesome book. What else did I want to talk to y'all about today? So this one is going to be the more coastal colors. So we're going to do the check at the bottom, and we're going to do I don't know if you can see that, a more florally leafy pattern here. And then we're doing stripes up at the top. So we're going to start at the bottom. I think I lost my piece of sandpaper. It has a little bit of, I painted them white first. Oh, let me just start from the beginning. Hello. Yes, this is what they look like on the front. And this is a piece of paper that you could take off. Say you wanted to maybe do this double-sided, or you wanted to maybe do, what's the word? Decoupage. There we go. Decoupage scrapbook paper, or put on your contact paper, or any, you know, I have some bits and pieces of removable wallpaper that I thought about. It's not removable, peel and stick wallpaper that I thought about maybe using. You can go ahead and peel this off and then put more decoupage on this side, because it's going to leave kind of a fuzzy kind of residue on this side, as well as there's this glitter. So to paint over this, it would be very textured. Now that could be kind of cool too, though, if you did kind of a more neutral color tone, and then kind of put some baking soda in your paint to go around where the jack-o'-lantern faces are. That'd be kind of cute. But so yeah, this is textured. So I painted the back all white so that we had a clean color palette. And I am going to put these outside. These, again, $1.50. So I'm not too worried about it. They are just that kind of masonite type stuff. So it could swell is where I'm going with that. So just be cognizant of that. So I'm using all Dixie Belle paint, and they have been in my stash for a while. Where did I get it? I got them at Dollar Tree. I talked about that in the beginning. Let's talk about that price increase, shall we? I understand completely, you know, the state of the world, the state of shipping. The cost of doing business today has gone up considerably. I know here in our state, minimum wage has now bumped up to, I think it's $15 an hour. So with all of that, you know, insurance costs have gone up, all that kind of stuff. I understand why stores have to increase their prices. As a store owner, as I was a store owner myself, completely, totally understand it. But I overheard the checkout woman, I think she's the manager of the store, and she was talking to the woman at the checkout and talking about the price increase. And she actually said she felt the quality was better now than the prices were $1.50. And that just made me laugh, because as I was going throughout the store, several of the tags that had, when they went to $1.25, they took the tags and would write the $1.25 on it, especially when our store has the $3 and the $5, $10 section. So they had a lot of tags with the $1.25 on it. And what they did is they went around with a red dot sticker and just placed over top of the $1.25 sticker. So those items were the same exact items, and they're just now $1.50. So I don't believe the quality increased in that time period. So it's just, I thought that was rather humorous. So that it is what it is. Like I said, everything is going up, and you really have to shop around today. There's going to be things that you usually probably would have gotten at Dollar Tree that maybe I saw a video recently. Same items at Dollar General were still $1. They're $1.50 at Dollar Tree. Some items at Walmart are, you might get more of them and be comparable in price. So you kind of have to weigh things out, especially like crafting supplies and things. You really still can't beat $1.50 for this. Even with your coupons or your sales at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, you're in Amazon, you're not getting this for $1.50. So like I said, you kind of have to weigh out what you're buying, where you're buying it from. It's going to take a little bit more work. I'm going to try to do some videos kind of comparing some prices for supplies here in the near future, so that I can kind of give you a heads up of where things are at. And we'll see. I think there's no better time than right now to DIY, that's for sure, because you're still going to come out cheaper if you DIY things versus buying them. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Linda, I see you're still on. Let us know, what are you doing for fall this year? What color scheme are you going with? And if you come on, anyone that is comes on and wants to comment, let me know, what are you doing for fall this year? Are you doing traditional colors? Are you doing non-traditional colors? And let me know. In the beginning of this video, I explained a little bit about, if you're just hopping on, a little bit about why I use non-traditional colors. A lot of it has to do with my color palette. The muted tones would not look well with my color palette. I should put my glasses on. It's starting to get a little crazy. So I am doing a video on these. You'll see the whole completed thing. So that will be coming out here in the near future. But like I said, I had to slow down a little bit this month. So there may be a delay in some of the postings. So that I told you I will be going live every other Friday at 11 o'clock. So sometimes there will be a video posted with it, and sometimes there will not be. And this is one of those weeks that there will not be. It'll be posted later, and I'm not really sure when, but look out for this. This year you're doing orange and neutral. When you say neutral, like creams or neutral browns, greens, can you clarify? So I have a flat brush, and you easily could have masked this off with tape, but I wanted it to look like it was a round pumpkin. So that's why I'm doing this by hand and doing it. I traced out or drew out like where the um, what would those things be called? Like a tunnels or columns of the pumpkin would be, and then kind of spaced my checks accordingly, sorta. Some of them are a little bigger, and that's because this column would be a little bit bigger. And that is also, and as well as all of the Mackenzie Childs stuff, it looks manufactured, but I believe it is still all hand painted. I watched the video on that as well. So that's why you'll see some imperfections in some of their stuff. Like they're not exact crisp squares in their checks because they are hand painted. So that's why I do understand the price of the Mackenzie Childs things, because they are still all hand painted. They're just out of my price zone, out of my price tag. My budget, I should say. I like to try to keep my home decor budget as little as possible. Let's see. So you're using white, off-white, tan, and brown with some orange. That's going to be so pretty. So pretty. And in a lot of ways, that's non-traditional as well, because I don't believe you're going to use a super bright orange. Definitely not orange and black. And uh, like the traditional colors that you'll see are, I actually had a very more non-traditional, the greens and the greens, browns, orange, brighter oranges. I think there's a place. I think there's a time and there's a place. They do look beautiful in some ways. Like you're a creamy, like I can see a creamy painted brick home with maybe wood columns out front, and then the bright orange pumpkins coming down, and the orange and the more vibrant garland across. I think it would be absolutely gorgeous. But like I said, our home is blue, and it just doesn't look quite right. I do go, like on my front porch, or front door, I should say. I would tend to go more traditional, but the back patio where I have all of the pots that are painted in the more vibrant colors and the other things that I have done this summer. So check those videos out if you haven't yet. It just wouldn't go. So I'm leaning in more to the they're not jewel tones. What are they? More vibrant yellows, blue, the cobalt blue, the pink, yellow. It's probably a good thing I didn't have my other cup of tea this morning. Since don't want to be shaky, that's for sure when you're doing this. But I find it extremely therapeutic. It's just it's like what, paint by number or coloring, the coloring books that were real popular. It's just something to kind of use a different side of your brain and kind of slow things down, calm things down. That, like I said, I've kind of reached a point in my life that is more important than getting things done and being uberly productive anymore. I will put a sealer on these when I'm done. And I'm going to go ahead and move to this part so that you can get an idea of how that will look, because yeah, I'm going to get the other. I'm going to do the stripes because, like I said, I am doing a video on these, so I need to save some parts for that video so that everybody can see things in its entirety. So this is a pretty pink, but I want to add just a little more vibrancy to it. So I'm going to add some of this peony or peony. How do you say it? I've heard it said many different ways. I had never heard of peony before until I had my store, and a lot of people apparently around here say peony. They do not grow here. It's too warm, so that might be part of the reason. But they're one of my absolutely favorite flowers. When they come into Trader Joe's, I always try to get them. I think it's in the spring. I could do a little more. A little more pink. Get a little more vibrancy in there. See if I have any comments going on. You do. Please forgive the hair. I'm a week away from my hair appointment, and the girl is my hair grows super fast, and I had it cut the last appointment, and I almost feel like it grew out even faster this time around. It might be all in my head, but I try to do between 6 to 8 weeks, and I might have to go sooner. I have to look back to see how many weeks I actually went this time, but yeah, girl's looking crazy right now. It is clean. Washed it. Did. But it doesn't look like it. It's so frustrating. Okay, stripes. Whew. How do I want the stripes to go? So I have an idea of how I want this to happen, but some of it is kind of going on and evolving as I put it together. Ooh. So here's what we're working with so far. I think I'll make that a little wider. Let's see. What are some fun things that you do in the fall? It starts to get to be craft show season here, which I always love. A good craft show. growing up, like I said, I grew up in upstate New York, and we would have the cider mill would always do a phenomenal craft show. And fun fact, my grandfather, um, he did marquetry. It's where you take little pieces of veneer and you cut them out into different shapes and you create pictures. I'll have to show you sometime some of his work. I have a couple pieces of his. And he would always set up at the at that craft show. So fall really makes me think of craft shows. Um, and then here, of course, the summer is just too blasted hot, so we don't have many during the summer. But I am about ready for a good craft show. Now, I don't know. I don't usually buy a whole lot. It's usually my staples are I buy fudge and kettle corn. So I usually go for the food these days. Probably shouldn't, but it is what it is. Alrighty. I think that'll be good. There we go. I'm just going to clean up a little bit and then, of course, paint our stem. I think I'll do the stem in maybe a light green. That might be good. And hang on 1 second. I got to go get the, like I said, well, let me do it in this first, and then I can always highlight with the brighter. We'll just do that. This is a completely monochromatic pattern. That's just a series of stems and leaves. And then I have a couple, what would be like zinnias or something like that. Or it really could even be kind of a palm tree look too. I think you could do just about anything. I have some napkins that look like it has coral on it, like an orangey color. And I originally was going to decoupage that on there, but it wasn't quite. It was a little too orange, too like a burnt orange, so it just didn't really look right. I've seen some that are completely like the blue and white chinoiserie. Oh, those were gorgeous. I've also seen, you can really do that great with a nice florally kind of napkin. I love to look at Home Goods. We used to have a Tuesday morning that had phenomenal napkins. Anywhere that you see a pack of napkins, pick them up, because if you see them in colors that you really love, or you see them in a pattern that you really love, pick them up, because they are phenomenal for decoupage and they're very inexpensive. Decoupage paper itself can get a little pricey, and you're kind of limited to what designs you have. So that's where the napkins really come in handy. You also, like I said, scrapbook paper. Peruse scrapbook aisles aren't quite as many options as there used to be, because it's not as popular as it used to be. But there could be many different designs and whatnot that you could do. Like I said, I might even take. I'm really kind of veering towards. In the beginning, I told you. So that'll be the. Let me just show you. That'll be the pattern on here. On my daughter-in-law's, which, if you're into Harry Potter, please tell me if I'm on the right track. I was going to do like an argyle pattern up there. I saw some like banners, and I'm assuming they're like different camps or whatever. So I hope the color palette that I'm picking isn't like the bad people or something. But I was going to do a navy and cream argyle with, and then a little teeny bits of cream, and then, or green, sorry. And then here I'm kind of torn as to what to do. I'm kind of veering towards taking book pages and decoupaging that on there, and then kind of highlighting with some paint. But let me know in the comments, what would you do? I need something Harry Potter related in this center section. I also thought like maybe making it look like a stack of books, but then they would all be like turned. You know what I mean? They would be, I wouldn't want them completely just straight up and down. So I don't know. I also do, like I said, I don't want it to be like, I don't want to write Harry Potter across there, if that makes sense. I want it to be a nod to Harry Potter, but not like completely in your face. And not too dark either. This daughter-in-law has three of my grandchildren. The oldest is 5, sweet little girl, and a boy and another little girl. So they're real young. We don't need anything too dark. So let me know in the comments below, what would you do? I am going to pop off of here because I need to finish these so that there is a video to see the entire thing and how they are done. And so that can get edited and sent out to you. Like I said, don't forget, pre-order Linda's book, and I never said the name of it. Good golly. It's called Vintage Nest. And it's a guidebook for you to use for its thrifting tips. It's thrifting things to look for, how to style them, all that sort of thing. And you can pre-order them now, and they will be released on Wednesday. Like I said, I think I saw different dates for different versions, like hardback, paperback, and Kindle were different times. So just check that out when you click the link. And it's also the photos in it are absolutely gorgeous and would make a phenomenal coffee table book. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts on, do you do traditional or non-traditional colors for your fall? Do you decorate for fall? Do you decorate for each individual season? Am I the only lazy one? To put all that up and take all that back down again is just too much for me. But so I do little nods here and there, but not a whole lot. As well as how do you feel about the whole Instagram aesthetic that is kind of driving trends and how we feel about our homes? So let me know that in the comments below. I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day. I hope that, if anything, I've sparked some sort of creativity in you today. I feel everyone has a creativity in them. You may have creativity with numbers. You may have creativity with organizing, any number of things. I think that's all a creative aspect. And I think it's very important for us to tap into those creative aspects, kind of to open our minds and think out of the box for things at times. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and God bless y'all. See you in the next one. Let me see if I can figure out how to end this time. I think I'm getting the tech. Am I getting it? Let's see. There we go.